Welcome to the Aprilly Edit. So today we are going to dive into the Laura Geller makeup world. Now, a little bit about me is I am 51 years old. I am not a makeup artist. I am not a makeup expert or guru. I am just a 51-year-old mature lady who has several skin issues, which I'm going to share with you guys, like unfiltered, raw, real life. I do not care. But yes, I have been in menopause for, about 5 years now. Yeah, I was in menopause early because I did have breast cancer back when I was 45, about 7 years ago, and they did put me in chemical menopause, and then eventually they took out my ovaries, my uterus, everything. So yeah, my skin has seen some things, and I am gonna take you guys right up in close and personal just to kind of show you guys kind of what I'm dealing with. So I have dark circles, like big time dark circles. I think honestly, if I had to say the one thing that really bothered me the most about my skin would be my dark circles. I mean, they're there. There's just no denying that. Fine lines and wrinkles, I don't feel like I have super bad heavy wrinkles, like nothing really deep. I do have fine lines. I mean, I'm over 50, you guys. And I do also suffer from melasma. I'll just take you guys in if you can kind of see on this side, it's really bad. I have sun damage. I was a 70s and 80s kid, so we didn't really wear a lot of sunscreen, and it's showing up all these years later. But anyways, I was just trying to find some kind of makeup that, it doesn't really change the way that I look. I'm not trying to make myself look like I'm 20. That's just not gonna happen. That's not realistic, but just something to kind of enhance what I already have. Just kind of a more refined, more put together version of myself, I guess. And Laura Geller kept coming up in all of my searches for, makeup that's good for mature skin. So I kind of wanted to, give it a try. Now, most of what I'm going to share with you guys today are things that are Laura Geller. I do have some other brands just because I don't have everything in Laura Geller. I didn't want to go in super hard and heavy right away. I wanted to see, how it works for my skin. Do I like it? Because there are a lot of differing opinions, out here on YouTube on how it works for people. And I think a lot of it has to do with like what you're expecting from the product or the brand, and also, maybe your age category. Okay, so just go ahead and dive on in. What I picked up was the Laura Geller, the Best of the Best Baked Full Face Basics. It was a combo deal that also came with the full size Baked Balance-n-Brighten foundation. And it also came with this really cool kabuki brush that is retractable and angled. And I actually really do like this. Okay, so I do have a couple other things Laura Geller that I, in subsequent purchases, picked up along the way. But that's like, in my opinion, if you just want to give it a try, that's what I would go for. It was $69. You got pretty much everything you need for a full face. And just to kind of test it out to see if you like it, because I will say there is a bit of a learning curve here, and that's with the foundation colors, because boy, was I off when I was, trying to figure out, which shade would be best for me. All right, let's see. I already have my skincare on. Very basic, you guys. I just have the Ceramide Skin Barrier Moisture from CosRX. Super basic, but I do really enjoy that one. And then there's one other thing that I've been using that I really do like. It is the Hydro Eye Stick Solid Oil Moisturizing Balm from Agency. Get that in there. I like this because, again, let me take you back in. I have wrinkles crinkles underneath my eyes. So this is kind of nice to kind of smooth it out a little bit so that I can actually wear some concealer for this stuff right here, because if I don't use something like this, man, it just really looks cakey, and it looks like it, the concealer settles really bad in my eyes. This though is kind of expensive. It's like 30 something bucks, and it's like half an ounce. But there is an alternative that you can also find on like Amazon. It's D'Alba Double Serum All-in-One Multi-Balm. Again, this, you know, you get like twice as much, and it's great for under your eyes if you're gonna put on concealer and you have those crinkles and, you know, wrinkles, crepey skin under there. I find like that's kind of a game changer if you're gonna use concealer. But okay, let's go ahead and get started. I am gonna do one other little skin prep thing, and that is the Laura Geller Spackle Skin Perfecting Primer. And I got it in the Hydrate just because I have dehydrated dry skin. So this is something I didn't pick up right away though. This was in like, I don't know, I think I got it maybe a couple purchases after, but I'm gonna just put it on with my fingers, and I like to use my fingers for a lot of things. Don't want to put too much on. And I've only used this a couple times, so from what I can gather so far, I feel like I like it, you know? Is it mind-blowing, life-changing? No, absolutely not. But, you know, it does really well with a baked Balance-n-Brighten foundation, I feel like. So I'm just gonna kind of get this on here. Texture-wise, not super sticky, but it does feel a little grippy, but not anything that's, you know, occlusive on my face. It's nothing that, you know, is irritating it or, you know, making it feel real heavy. So, all right. Another thing I do want to do though, because I mentioned earlier how there is a learning curve for the shades, I feel like the shades are kind of misleading, and I don't know. So I have several shades to share with you guys. And again, you can kind of see like what my skin color is, and hopefully if I'm close to you guys, skin match wise, you can, you know, make a informed decision here. All right, so the first one that I'm gonna, you know, kind of swatch for you guys is very light. It's the Porcelain. But when I was trying some of these other shades, I was like, oh my gosh, these are kind of dark. All right, let's see, I'm gonna put this one on my pinky, kind of show you guys, this is it right here. And if you look up close, you can kind of see it's kind of pearly looking, but there are some definite yellow, or I'm sorry, pink specks in it. But that's it on my finger. Next up is Fair. Now, when I originally purchased this kit, I picked up the shade Light and Medium because I wasn't sure. I went back in and I got a Fair about a month or so later. So this is the Fair. A little darker than the Porcelain for sure. Lots of, you know, light tan, little bronzy colors. But this is it on my finger. I mean, Fair, and it's this color right here. That's pretty dark, you know, for Fair. All right, the one that I originally started off with is Light. You kind of see it right there. Definitely a lot darker. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this one on my finger. This is where you really start seeing like undertones come in here. Definitely a lot darker than the Fair. You can see there is quite a bit of yellow in here. And I feel like I do have some yellow undertones in my skin. And then Medium. And normally in most makeup brands, I'm about a medium shade. So here it is quite dark. Quite dark. And I will swatch this one for you guys. And it's interesting because honestly, I kind of sort of feel like the undertone for the medium is a lot better for my skin undertone, but I feel like it is pretty dang dark on my skin. But anyways, here we go. Those are the swatches of the Porcelain, the light, the Fair, the Light, and the Medium. There you go. All right, so I'm going to actually use Light today. I feel like it's pretty decent. I think a lot of people would kind of, you know, maybe fit in that or think they would fit in that shade match. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the light to use today. But first things first, I am going to put on some of my balm so I can put some concealer under my eyes. And again, like I said, I am just a 51-year-old lady, not an expert, not a professional. I just want to get my face put on, look semi-decent, and yeah, so there's not a lot of technique I'm going to use today. This is something anybody could do. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm just going to kind of let that settle in for a couple seconds before I go into my concealer. Now I'm going to use Tarte's Light Medium Peach Colored Clay CC Under Eye Corrector. I like this one, you guys. I think the formula is nice. I feel like it doesn't really settle into my fine lines and wrinkles too badly. And the color is nice for my skin. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with that. And I'm gonna show you guys, like I don't use a lot. I just kind of dot it on. But I'm gonna show you like the issue that I have big time with concealer, because there is one place in particular where I feel like anything, it doesn't matter what, it settles in and I have to kind of open it up and kind of, you know, pat it in. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of pat, 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 and then I'll take you up and closer to show you what I'm talking about with like what I feel is like my biggest issue. I also have this brush here. It's the Angie Hot and Flashy A506 from BK Beauty. And I do like to kind of push in that concealer just so I can get it into all the little nooks and crannies and, you know, not have it, I want it to kind of meld into my skin. And I feel like this does a pretty good job. All right, so I didn't put a ton on. It did, you know, a little bit of an okay job, but you can still see it. I'm never gonna get rid of them completely. But watch this, okay? It looks like, oh, okay, you got it in pretty, you know, pretty well. Can you even, I don't know if you guys can even see that. But right here, I'm sorry, let's get up close. Like right in here, it's settled in my lines. So I'm going to just kind of push it in with my finger, spread out my skin, and just pat it in. Kind of get like any little excess on the top, because I have dark circles, you guys, on the tops of my eyes too. I don't know, I've always just had that. All right, I think we're looking pretty okay with that. I don't want to put too much on, because if I do, it's gonna be a hot mess, you guys. It'll just be a hot mess. All right, so now let's go in with the shade Light. Try to grab the right one, here we go. Shade Light. And I am gonna use, it's never a good YouTube video unless you drop something, you guys. I don't know if anyone's ever said that, but that's the truth. I'm gonna take my angled kabuki brush, and what I like about this is you can kind of, you know, give yourself a little more coverage if you push it up, and it makes it just a little stiffer. So we're gonna start off with that and then go from there. Just gonna get it on to my brush, tap it just a little bit, and we're gonna just go for it, you guys. And I'm trying not to rub. I really am trying to just kind of pat, pat, pat. And you'll also notice that I only put that concealer underneath my eyes. I don't want to look cakey. Like, that's my biggest thing. And especially since this is, it looks like a powder, but I guess it's like baked cream foundation. But I mean, it still looks like a powder. I just don't want to be cakey looking. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve, is I feel like if you have your makeup looking cakey, I don't know, I kind of think it ages you. So I'm so curious if you guys have tried this. What shade do you use, and do you feel like the shades are just a little misleading, and do you feel like you should probably shade down? I don't know. That would kind of be my advice, is if you're not sure, maybe go down one shade, just because I don't know, it's kind of misleading with the shade names. They kind of are a lot darker than most other brands. So just getting this all in here. And honestly, I don't need I don't care about having like a super, what is that? It's like a weird shadow on me right here. I'm not looking for flawless skin. I'm just looking for better than what I have. More refined, a little more balanced, I guess. So I don't want to like put too much on. Although I will say, I do have a little trick that I'll share at the end, where if you feel like it's looking a little too cakey, this trick is amazing. This will fix it completely. So here we go. I honestly think that's a pretty decent shade match for me. And really, the look does kind of like come together at the end. You know, I'm so curious as if I can maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna try it. What if I do this and kind of put a little under my eye, just to kind of like, since it's so difficult to get that big brush under my eye, if that kind of helps a little bit. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Let's take you in. I still have my dark circles. I mean, I was just trying to kind of even it out a little bit. It's not going to go away. Not unless I put a crap ton of concealer on it, but then I deal with crinkles and wrinkles under my eye, and honestly, I'd rather have dark circles than the wrinkles. That's just me. And, you know, not only that, but no one's going to be up in my face like that. You know, it's going to be kind of back like this, and it's fine, you guys, it's fine. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the palette, and it's beautiful, you guys. This is a gorgeous palette. So it does come with 3 eyeshadow shades on top, and I am going to use those today. It has the Baked Body Frosting in Tahitian Glow, which is actually like the light category for their body frosting. And then I love this blush color. It is Pink Buttercream in the blush. And then there are 2 highlighter shades. One is Baked, the French Vanilla, which is kind of like a flat matte, no sparkles. And then you have the shimmery one in Portofino. We're gonna use this whole palette. All right, so I should have taken out another brush. I'll just grab it right now. Another dual-sided brush. This was, I think I got this for like 10 bucks on the Laura Geller website when they had like a little sale going on. So we're gonna start off with the Tahitian Glow. We're gonna go in right here. And I'll swatch it on my finger so you can kind of see. It's not super dark, you guys. It is pretty light, but it kind of does give you a little bit of a glow. I mean, you can kind of see a little tiny bit versus over here. And honestly, I don't think I would want it super dark, because again, I'm not looking for a super made up face. I'm just kind of looking for just a little enhancement. And I am liking how that's looking. Go over here on this side. And I do actually have a couple other shades, like darker shades, but I just wanted to, you know, use this palette to show you what you could do if you just wanted to get one thing with the palette, and how you can actually create a total look with it. All right, and let's go in a little bit up here. I don't know if you can tell outside, but we are having an overcast day here in northern Alabama. I'm originally from San Diego. We moved here, gosh, about 6 months ago, so I am still getting used to the weather here, but I am excited that it's almost spring because it has been so cold and I am dying to get my garden going. All right, so I think I'm gonna put a tiny little bit on my nose. Probably not gonna even be able to tell that I'm really wearing anything on my nose, but we're gonna just kind of, you know, I can tell a little bit. Can you? Just kind of wake my face up a little bit. Okay, that was a National Weather Service test. It was only a test, so nobody panic. All right. All right, so do have the big frosting, or like the I guess it's almost like a bronzer on, looking kind of nice. Let's go into the buttercream blush. It's so pretty. I actually really like this color a lot. All right. I make faces when I put on makeup, you guys, so that's just who I am. I'm gonna try to apply this not super low though, because I have fairly, you know, big cheeks, I guess, you know, like when I smile, you can see my cheeks. But I don't want to go too low because I don't want it to drag down. But I also don't want it up to my eyeballs either. So I guess it's just kind of like a learning curve on where you shall put it. I've seen so many people do all different places. Oh shoot, that looks really bright. Ooh, I got a lot on there. Okay, that's all right, because you know what? We can go back in with the kabuki brush and a little bit of, let me see, ooh, I feel like I got way too much on there. I was going ham. I'm just gonna fix it by kind of doing that. Easy peasy, you guys. No mistakes in makeup, just happy little accidents, right? Okay. So there's the blush. I just want to make sure it's even. Okay. Nice. Let's see. Let's do my lips next. I do have some lip liner here, and this actually is a Laura Geller one. This is in the shade, what is it? Neutral? Nuevo Neutral? All right. Is that really what the shade is called? I guess so. And again, I'm not doing anything fancy with my lips. I'm trying to make them look bigger or anything, just, you know, kind of keep my, you know, lip balm that I'm going to use from going all over the place. And I think for my lipstick, oh, what do I want to use? Let's go for this one. I haven't used this in a long time. This is Buxom in the color, come on, Gabby. It's in Gabby. Oh gosh, it's not going to show up, you guys. I'm sorry, but it's Gabby. And it's a pretty kind of sparkly plum. I do like this color a lot. Does have a little tingle, but I kind of like it. I like that color, looks good. Okay. Let's do eyes next. Why don't we do my eyebrows? Again, I do have this from Laura Geller. It's okay, it's not my favorite, but I figured let's just stick to the theme. It's pretty thick. I think that's why I'm kind of like unsure about it. Although this side is a little more narrow than that side. All right. I also think I got too dark of a shade. This is dark brown. I shouldn't have got dark brown, but it is what it is. I feel like my eyebrows are a big pain in the butt for me too. And that's because like I said, when I had breast cancer, I did chemo because it was pretty, it was stage 2. So I needed the chemo. It was in my lymph nodes. It was in 5 lymph nodes. So I feel like my eyebrows just never really came back in fully. I used to have really beautiful eyebrows, and I feel like they never really grew back in well after that. They became very sparse. I mean, I had no eyebrows for the longest time, but yeah, they were just never the same. So that is a bit of a struggle for me. And I thought I had, okay, it's over here. Looking for a little spoolie because, and this is the one that I really like, to kind of fluff them up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, this isn't bad, the Laura Geller one. It's just, it's a little dark, in my opinion, for me. And I don't think it's as easy to control as some of the more tapered and thinner eyebrow pencils. But it's decent. All right, I don't want to go too crazy because, again, this is pretty dark. All right, so for eyes, we are going to use the palette once again. And I think I'm going to go in with the middle color right here, the Sunstone. I'm going to kind of put that all over my lids, and I've got my brushes here. I don't know which one I want to use. These are new to me brushes. Let's go in with this one. This is the BK Beauty 212 brush. I'm gonna take this Sunstone, and it is a matte, kind of pinkish color. Make sure you guys can see that really well right in here. It looks brown on the camera, but it's kind of like a pinky brown. I'm gonna just kind of put that all over my lid. And again, it is not a super dark color. So hopefully you can see there, you can tell a little bit. It's like here I've none on, and then it just kind of brightens it up just a little tiny bit. And again, just gonna kind of go all over my lid. And this is the first time using this brush, and I actually really like it. Fantastic. All right, let's go in on the other side. So a very subtle color. I would say this palette is definitely nice if you want a more subtle look. Laura Geller does have some other eyeshadow palettes, and I do have them, and I'll share those with you guys. But for the most part, I would say her eyeshadow in general is going to give you a subtle look. I don't think it's going to be anything dramatic. It's just not, and I don't think it's intended to be, dramatic. I think it is supposed to just be subtle. All right, now let's go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with Oyster next, right here. It's a really pretty shimmery pearled color. And for this one, I'm actually just gonna go in with my finger, you guys. There it is. And you know what, let me swatch the Sunstone on my finger just so you can kind of see how it's very, very light. But this one is the Oyster. And I'm gonna just kind of put it on my lids, my lower lids. just going for a simple, pretty look. And I can see that on there, so that's nice. You know, I probably should have used eyeshadow primer, but whatever. Let's just kind of see how this this does on its own. I might need to go back in with a little bit more, we'll see, but you can kind of see what that's looking like. It's really pretty, and again, very subtle, even though, you know, in here it looks pretty bright, but it's still subtle. And now I need to do something about my crease line. I do have hooded eyes, so let's see, let's go in with this one. Angie Hot and Flashy 503, nice fluffy brush. And we're gonna go in with the almond right here. And you know, I might be daring, and I might even put a little bit of that blush in here. We'll see. We'll see if I feel like I need it. Oh, this is pretty. You guys can see the difference when it's going on. Subtle, but very beautiful. It's applying very nicely. See the difference? You know, sometimes I do want a dramatic, you know, eye look, but you know, I feel like if I'm going to use this palette or my Laura Geller makeup, I'm going to go more for like a more natural look. And I'll save, you know, my bold eyeshadows for, you know, some of my other foundations and things like that. All right, so there we go. Just, I mean, that was really fast and simple, you guys. Let's see. Let's take this baked highlighter French vanilla and kind of go up under my brow bone. See, we'll use this one, the Nikki LA Rose or La Rose, whatever, I don't know, and 13. Just kind of see if we can just put a little bit of that French vanilla. Oh yeah, I think that looks lovely. Yeah, that's looking nice. And now underneath, I do have some eyeliner. I think I'm gonna try it. It's from Thrive Cosmetics. It's in the shade Lizzie, which is a really pretty green. Let's see if I can pop it open and kind of see. Well, let's scooch you up. There we go. Kind of see it right there. I'll swatch it on my hand for you guys. See that? It's a really pretty, oh gosh, come on. I'll swatch it right here. There you go. It's a really pretty green. Wow, you can see my veins. Wow, they are so purple today. All right, let's just go in here a little bit. Oh, I'm noticing a little tiny bit of creasing, you guys, under my eyes. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but there's just ever so slight, and that always happens no matter what. So I just kind of get in between and use my finger and tap it in. Yeah, okay, that's better. All right, so let's use a little bit of eyeliner. I don't want to go in too dramatic. I think this will match my shirt nicely. Let's see. I'm gonna blend it in a little tiny bit. Kind of give it a diffused look. I don't want a harsh line. I feel like that if I have a very harsh line, it really enhances my dark circles. And let's see, let's try to get a little bit of this on my upper lash line as well. Just like a soft, pretty look. Nothing heavy, nothing crazy. But you know, I feel like I need something. My eyelashes are not the most beautiful lush eyelashes out there. So I need all the help I can get in the lash department. And I do know that Laura Geller does have some eyeliners and stuff. I haven't purchased those. All right. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. I've also heard some good things about her mascara. I haven't tried it. I have a mascara that I really like already, so I don't know, maybe one day I'll try it, but yeah, I don't know. Not sure. All right, let's go with the eyeliner. That's a pretty color, you guys. That's a pretty color. All right, let's go in with some mascara, and this is Thrive mascara, but I really, really like it. Oh, I forgot. I want to put some highlighter on, you guys. I totally forgot. Let's see. Where's my brushes? Here they are. Let me just grab like my little highlighter brush right here. That's what I like to use for highlighter. And we're gonna go in with that Portofino, that really pretty shimmery, pearly color. I'm gonna just kind of go along here, my cheeks. It does give a subtle glow. Maybe it's a little bit more than subtle. I think it's pretty though. But I don't think it's anything crazy. I really don't think it's like too much. Let's see, on my nose, let's go in with the French vanilla. Just kind of like right there. Maybe we'll go a little down here on my chin. Kind of do both of them. Maybe put a little right there. Okay. Next, let's do my mascara. And yeah, I do really enjoy this mascara. It's a tubing mascara. I feel like I struggle with mascara like ending up underneath my my eyes, which again enhances the dark circles. And you know, I just find this goes on pretty smoothly. It doesn't look clumpy, and it really doesn't, you know, leave anything underneath my eyes, you know, on my skin. So I do really like this one. I'll kind of show you the difference too with, you know, mascara, no mascara. It's amazing what a little bit of mascara can do. Goes on so smooth. I love it. And I will put a little tiny bit on the bottoms of my lashes, but not a ton. But look, it's like no eyelashes, eyelashes, no eyelashes, eyelashes. And let's get a little down here. Just want to be careful that I don't go too much underneath. That's beautiful, you guys. I love it. Such a big difference. Let me go on this side. And I personally like to use black mascara. I just feel like it makes my eyes pop. I've heard some people say, oh, when you get older, you should use brown, but I don't know. I like black for me personally. I think it definitely makes my eyes just kind of pop more. And since I don't have a ton of eyelashes and they're not very long and thick and beautiful, I think the black just really, really helps me. I haven't worn false eyelashes before. Honestly, I find it kind of intimidating, but I am intrigued, and I don't know, maybe one day I will be brave enough to try it. But I've never worn false eyelashes, and I'm like, wow, that, you know, do I want to be in my 50s and try it for the first time? I mean, I don't know. It seems super intimidating. Okay. Let's make sure everything's looking good. I mean, I'm liking this look, you guys. I think it's beautiful. So now my secret little trick is this baby right here. It's just a really pretty finishing spray. This is the D'Alba Aromatic Spray Serum. It's very hydrating and nourishing, and I just feel like it, if you feel at all cakey, which I don't even think I look cakey, but this just like, oh, it enhances everything. So I'm gonna put it on, and it just feels beautiful. Feels so good on my skin. I'm gonna let it, you know, do its little thing, and then we're going to talk about the final look and my final thoughts. Now, I will say, the color, do you see how it seems a little dark? I mean, this is the light, you guys. This is the light. Could you imagine if I would have used medium? I do have the fair in here that I will, you know, start trying next time. But overall, I think it's a really pretty look. I don't look super made up. It doesn't look heavy and cakey. It wears beautifully throughout the day. If I'm ever feeling like I need a little bit of, you know, freshening up, I just spray a little bit of this on my skin, and I just feel like it kind of wakes my skin up. But yeah, this is the Laura Geller Beauty Face Palette with a few other little items. Overall, I think it's a fantastic deal. $69. You could try it. And again, if you were trying it for the first time, I would for sure go in small. Give it a try. Don't buy all the things all at once. See if you like it. I think the biggest hurdle is going to be the shade matching for the foundation, because again, this is light, you guys. It's not super light. It kind of darkens on your skin. So, but I think, you know, it does, you know, kind of, you know, match my skin tone fairly well. So thank you so much. Leave a comment below. Have you tried Laura Geller products? What do you think? So curious as to your age group. Are you finding, you know, if you're really liking it, are you a more mature woman? If you don't like it, are you, you know, younger and maybe, you know, you like the other foundations, the things that, you know, maybe you can get away with a little bit more because you have beautiful skin still. So thank you so much, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.